Welcome. Today we're going to be touching on safety tips for the fall. So join me. My name is Michelle.Benjamin, and I'm a realtor for Keller Williams McKinney and your North Texas Home Cupid. Now I know we have a lot of fun usually on my channel, but today I would like to cover something serious because as homeowners it is important to be safe for you, for your family, and for your neighbors. Now it's time for the disclaimer. My channel is not a replacement for home ownership classes. It is not a replacement for contacting your local first responders to get information. We're just here having fun and learning at the same time. Feel free to do your own research. Feel free to fact check. I want to make sure that you're having the best experience on your home ownership journey. Now that that's out the way, let's talk about some safety tips for the fall. Keep in mind that there are lots of safety tips out there, but I'm only going to cover 5 today. Tip number 1, please avoid burning leaves, debris, or even trash. As our friends and family in California can attest, fires are uncontrollable, okay? So, unless you are certified or a professional, please avoid burning stuff in your front lawn, okay? Tip number 2. This is the time of year where daylight savings does a little switch thing. As a rule of thumb, I change all my emergency equipment. Your alarm batteries, your carbon monoxide batteries, your emergency prepared kits. Make sure that everything is up to par and in working condition. I do it at least twice a year, in the spring and the fall. But feel free to do it more. Okay? So that's tip number 2. Make sure you change your batteries. Make sure your emergency preparedness kit is up to date and ready for anything. Tip number 3. Make sure you do a heat check and make sure everything that requires heat in your house works. I know that's hard to do in Texas when it's still really hot. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's high 80s, like 90s. Cool front is like a low 90s. But it is going to get cool soon. So make sure that all the heat in your house works. Tip number 4. I know as the weather starts to cool off, you're going to want to go outside and enjoy, take a walk with your kids, walk the dog a little bit more often. But keep in mind that there are drivers still out. You know, if you are a driver, watch out for pedestrians, especially around Halloween time when people are just kind of haphazardly crossing the street. Be mindful of your neighbors. Be mindful of your community members while you're out and about. And as the season changes, we're going to get that crazy Texas weather. So take all the necessary precautions to be safe. Pedestrian and bicycle traffic usually increases around Halloween time. So if you are driving or if you're walking, make sure that you're aware of your surroundings. Make sure that you are paying attention to what's going on around you. And make sure that you watch out for the kids. They're not as versed in safety as we are. You have to go above and beyond and be careful for them. Tip number 5. If you're like me, I love switching up my candles to give my home that holiday smell of harvest, your pumpkin spice, your cinnamon, all the fall smells. But be mindful of candle safety. Okay, I know it's a whole topic of its own, but I wanted to touch on it today because even though it is a small flame, it is still fire. Okay, let's not give the firefighters more work than they need. Okay, so do a quick Google check and what are the best tips for candle safety if you're like me and you like to burn candles. So that's all we're going to touch on for today. If you have additional tips, please share them with me in the comments. I love learning just as much as I love sharing information. And do not forget, subscribe. That way you know when new videos are posted. Alright guys, that's all I have for today. I'll see you next week.